here we are, a couple weeks after my interview with Kyle Brink, and I got an email from Wizard of the Coast. During and after reading this email, I was feeling kind of shocked, kind of confused, excited in a way. Like I was actually a little bit like jittery and nervous reading this. And I'm not trying to hype this up. I was feeling all of those feelings. And I'll say one other thing up front before we dive in. After reading this and replying with some personal information, you'll see why that was requested. I was actually thinking, oh my gosh, did I just fall for some elaborate ruse? But let's go. Hello, adventurers. So right away we can see that this wasn't just to me, right? This did go to a bunch of other people, and we'll see how that's kind of referenced later at the end of the email as well. We hope you're having an excellent start to your week. And that part was kind of funny because I got this on a Wednesday. But I digress. In December of 2022, our team had the opportunity to attend PAX Unplugged and interact with tons of members of the TTRPG creator community. Something that came up consistently in these conversations was a desire from you, the community we serve, to have more chances to see Wizard staff in person. And this is so true. It's kind of funny almost that they reference PAX Unplugged because I'm hearing about this more recently in, for example, the interviews with Kyle Brink when I brought it up. I know Ted from Nerd Immersion brought it up and really dwelt on that point. I've even heard Professor DM from Dungeon Craft talk about this, how Wizards of the Coast used to go to conventions and they just stopped doing it. Maybe they don't, make up in merchandise sales what their costs are for sending a bunch of team members to them. So I can see that, and I can see how Wizards has been in a position for a long time where they didn't need that, little bit of a pony show or whatever you want to call it. But really, those conventions are about exactly what they're referencing here. It's about connecting with the community they serve, right? And serve might be a strong word. They make cool books and we play games, but it means a lot to a lot of people, and it means more when they have the chance to see these people face to face and interact with them. And I'll say that if I sound a little callous there or something, it's because I've never been to a con. My first con that I was going to go to was in 2020, and then some things happened and that con was canceled. So this is something close though. You'll see here in a second. Have more chances to see Wizard staff in person, more chances to provide feedback on how our team can improve the experience of making D&D content, and more chances to see what's next for D&D. Pretty interesting, right? So maybe they do like inside scoops at cons now. I don't know if that's a thing brands do, but let's continue. The D&D creator relations team has been cooking up some new ideas for how we can best meet these goals, and we'd love to invite you the first step. That is what it says. We'd love to invite you the first step. It's a little bit of a typo there, whatever. We are excited to invite you to join us this April 3rd in person at our Bellevue, Washington office for our team's first Content Creator Summit. I didn't want to give the spoiler before, but that's the subject of the email, WotC Summit invitation. So, wow, Wizard of the Coast will be hosting content creators for some kind of meetup at the Wizards of the Coast office in Washington State. What? And they invited me? What? I hope you could see why I didn't even really believe this at first. This sounds super weird. And honestly, as exciting as all this is, that's part of what makes this so internally conflicting. Yes, it's great that they want to go back to cons. It's great that they want to invite content creators to their office and meet a bunch of them. That's super exciting. But the fact that it had to come on the tails of all the crap we just went through, the fact that they needed such a huge wake-up call of, honestly, at this point, probably hundreds, if not thousands of people saying they're never gonna support D&D again. It's a little heavy, right? It's a little heavy. So this is really the second connection I've ever had with Wizards of the Coast. It's crazy. They never even sent me one of those weird packs of merchandise that they release to blow past that stuff and being like, we are opening our doors and want you to walk on in, Bob. That feels super weird. So what is this event? It will be a chance to see some of what our teams have been working on, including the D&D VTT and the D&D rules update. What? Do I get a sneak peek of the VTT? Do I get a sneak peek of some 1D&D rules changes? That would have been really exciting 2 or 3 months ago when I was totally on the 1D&D hype train. Right now, I feel very differently about 1D&D than I did a little while back. And basically, my position on all of it, if you haven't stayed in touch with some of my more recent videos, is I still love 5e, so I'm probably gonna like a lot of what 1D&D has to offer once it's out, but like to stay super intent on like following every individual rules change, like now it feels like work. That's why I haven't really talked about the latest updates so far, and I don't know if I'm going to. Let's just get back to it. Opportunity to ask questions, give feedback, and connect with members of our studio and content teams. And that part just feels really cool. We know those terrible decisions came from higher up. Even if it was in Wizards of the Coast, it came from higher up. To meet with some of the designers, like if I get to meet Jeremy Crawford or Chris Perkins, or even like, so like there's this guy on Twitter, I don't know if I feel like naming him right now, excellent DMs Guild creator, now works at Wizards of the Coast, and I got to like watch that rise like, in his career. It would be so cool just to meet that guy in person. It's Justice Armin. It's Justice Armin. He's a cool guy. He's super funny on Twitter. You should follow him. And along those lines, I'm thinking about who else do I get to meet? This is a content creator summit. Do I get to meet Matt Colville? He's like one of the people who got me GMing in the first place. I don't know if he'd actually go to this. I don't know if he was invited to this. I have no idea who else is on board with any of this right now. They say here, there will be no content requirements. That's good to see in writing. They're not saying, hey, we're going to invite you to this cool thing, but you have to make a video advertising what we're going to tell you, right? No, so no content requirements. I could just do all this and then not tell you anything about it. I'm probably going to tell you some things about it though. Nor will Wizards be taking or using any footage, photos, or recordings for any purpose, which is also really great to have in writing because I wouldn't want them to take some cool group shots of me with designers or even other content creators and then like slap it up next to a 1D&D change that I actually don't like, right? Any information we share with you during this summit, you are free to share with your community. So this also tells me that anything they're going to tell us about the VTT, the rules, whatever, it's stuff that they're probably about to reveal in a couple weeks after the event, of course. I'd prefer to just like enjoy the experience as a real person rather than behind a lens. Maybe I'll probably try to do a mix of both, I guess. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Record everything, record nothing and talk about it later, something in between. Please tell me. And additionally, our team will cover your travel, lodging, and per diem costs for this event. And that's super great because, frankly, this is all the way across the country for me. I probably wouldn't be able to go if they weren't going to cover that. And now, of course, I'm sure some people watching this are like, Bob, are you a freaking dumb guy? Because obviously they just want to wine and dine you over there and get you back on the D&D train, right? I'm willing to be wined and dined, guys. You might call this an olive branch. You might call it a Trojan horse. Whatever it is, it does look really good on the surface, and I'm really honored to be invited. We'll finish up this email first. Whether you've been a member of the D&D community for decades or a newer member of the party, boom. So again, this didn't just go to me. This went to who knows how many people, and apparently a range of people who have been playing games for a long time or who have just got into it in the last couple of years, who knows. We are excited beyond belief to welcome you into our home. That sounds really nice, right? Nice wording. Please let us know if you're interested in participating or have any questions that we can help answer. Best wishes, the D&D Creator Relations Team, formerly the D&D Influencer Team. Like, obviously it's mixed feelings, right? I want to just be 100% happy about it, but of course I still have a bad taste in my mouth about the whole thing. So it's tricky. But nonetheless, I replied, I'm honored to be invited. I really am. And I will absolutely be attending the WotC Content Creator Summit. There's no way. Like, I read this to Grace and was like, I have to go to this. I can't deny this opportunity. Especially, again, if there's nothing in the way. Like, they're literally covering everything. But yeah, I just haven't seen anything about this, at least at the time of recording this video. This will be a really awkward update if I have to come out and say that I just lost my identity over this. It's just still that weird to me that this is happening. And I'm sure there's going to be a million different opinions down in the comments. Hopefully most are just excited like I am. Wow. Okay, and wait a minute. This would have been a wild opportunity not to tell you about my really cool limited edition dice set. These are the official Bob World Builder metal dice, only 500 sets made and only like maybe 160, 70 sets left. But you can pick up a set and get 18% off using the code BOB and the link below. But whether or not metal dice are your thing, you can easily support this channel by liking this video if you found this as interesting as I did, and maybe subscribing so you can stay up to date on whatever the heck ends up coming from all of this. Thank you for your support, and keep building. Wowza!